The hypocrisy of U.S. foreign policy never ceases to amaze me. Just recently, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, said the U.S. is reviewing its participation in the United Nations Human Rights Council over criticisms and rulings that have been made against the criminal state of Israel. The Geneva-based council, made up of 47 countries, is beginning a 3-week session, and Ms. Haley said that the U.S. sees some areas for significant strengthening. In fact, in the late December 2016, during the waning moments of the U.S. administration under Obama, the UN Security Council passed a resolution condemning Israel's settlements in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. This has angered the United States, who has always remained a staunch supporter of the genocidal state of Israel.
It's hard to accept that this council has never considered a resolution on Venezuela, and yet it adopted 5 biased resolutions in March against a single country, Israel. It is essential that this council address its chronic anti-Israel bias if it is to have any credibility.
Then UN Ambassador Samantha Power chose not to veto the resolution, which was the normal procedure that they usually carry out. But the new UN Ambassador Nikki Haley seems to take exception to this. And in fact, in a very bizarre moment, reacting to this, she actually decided to change gears and attack Venezuela.
If Venezuela cannot, it should voluntarily step down from its seat on the Human Rights Council until it can get its own house in order. Being a member of this council is a privilege, and no country who is a human rights violator should be allowed a seat at the table.
The statement absolutely blows my mind. Now, while Venezuela is stuck in a very difficult situation, one brought on by the United States, many of the countries who are on the UN Human Rights Council are extremely destructive countries. Countries that have the absolute worst human rights records possible, like the United States and Saudi Arabia. I mean, this is complete and utter nonsense. The United States has absolutely no grounds on which to criticize anyone. Finally, the Security Council is finally doing something about Israel. Frankly, it's too little too late, in my opinion. But at least now they're finally getting around to do at least something at a very minimal level about the genocidal policies of Israel. Now, here's what I find really interesting about this. The U.S. is threatening to pull out of the Human Rights Council when the UN Human Rights Council was a reformed replacement that was created after the U.S. withdrew from the last one because of too many criticisms that were being thrown at the apartheid regime in South Africa. So it's very interesting that we're watching history repeat itself. The last Human Rights Council was taken down, or the United States left it, and it was eventually abolished because it was too critical of South African apartheid. Yet now we see the same thing happen again because the council is being too critical of Israel and the human rights crimes it has been committing for the past 50 years. This just speaks more to the complete and utter hypocrisy of the United States, and in particular its foreign policy, that while it is the biggest human rights violator in the world, it dares point a finger at anyone else and get mad if you criticize its ally. This is just, it's one of those things where it just blows your mind if you know what's going on. And it's just another symptom of the complete criminal empire that is the United States government. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.